Oftentimes, those who complain about censorship the loudest are carrying out the worst form of censorship, and that's certainly the case with the right wing in the state of Florida. Now, this is a clear case of censorship because the University of Florida has barred 3 of its professors from testifying against a voter suppression law that's favored by Republican Governor Ron DeSantis. Let me give you the details. Political science professors Daniel Smith, Michael McDonald, and Sharon Austin, in cases before the state, were told earlier this month that their request to serve as experts would now be rejected. They were seeking permission to serve as experts in the case challenging Senate Bill 90, passed by Florida's GOP-controlled legislature in the wake of the 2020 election. Now, Smith is the chair of the political science department at the University of Florida. McDonald is a national expert on elections, and Austin studies African-American political behavior. And the lawsuit's plaintiffs want to question Governor Ron DeSantis about the university's decision, but his lawyers have balked, arguing any discussions he had about it would contain privileged information. The suit seeks to overturn Florida's new law restricting voting rights, similar to legislation in Georgia and Texas that sharply limited ballot drop boxes. And so what is the reasoning that was given to these professors? What are we hearing as the excuse here? Outside activities that may pose a conflict of interest to the executive branch of the state of Florida create a conflict for the University of Florida, wrote David Richardson, Dean of the University of Florida's College of Arts and Sciences, in response to Smith's request. There weren't many other details given, but I'm going to assume that what they're referring to here is the threat of withdrawing state funding from the university system if the professors do in fact testify against the anti-voting law.
Okay, so you all know Republicans say all the time, oh, free speech, free speech. I can't believe there's this cancel culture, etc. This is literal censorship.
Yep.
It is the government, and it's not Twitter, it's not a social media outlet, it's not a private company. It is the government saying you are not allowed to talk. And to professors, you are not allowed to share facts with the public because we're planning on lying to them. So we don't want you as professors to share actual information with them. So you're banned from sharing it. We're censoring you. Understand, they never meant free speech. They hate free speech. They can't stand it. The minute you disagree with their authoritarian decisions, they go, that's it, you're banned. You're canceled, you're censored. You're not allowed to do anything that the government does not allow under Ron DeSantis. So if you got uncles and cousins who are Republicans who talk about free speech, man, and we'll tell them about this. Well, how come your beloved DeSantis is censoring professors in Florida like a coward? He's obviously planning on lying to people. Why would you ban professors? If you were right and the professors were wrong, you just let them speak all day. We're actually for free speech. I've defended Ben Shapiro's speeches and Coulter's speeches. You know why? I'm not afraid of them. They're ridiculous. They make absurd points about how the rich should get richer and the middle class should get annihilated. That's easy to win against in a free marketplace of ideas. So what are you afraid of, DeSantis? What are you afraid of, right wing? Why are you censoring people? You never believed in free speech. It was just BS. All you want to do is say racist things and get away with it. That's all they mean when they say free speech.
No, that's exactly right. I mean, it is fascinating because again, the people who cry the loudest about censorship will just be completely quiet about this. I mean, just go to Rumble, right? Rumble is supposed to be a platform that really honors free speech, which is why they're paying people like Glenn Greenwald, based on what Glenn Greenwald himself said, mid-6 figures to put content up on there. So is he focusing on the story at all? I'm just curious. Or is he mostly focusing on bashing progressives for his perceived issues with them? But nonetheless, the university has denied infringing on free speech rights.
Hilarious.
Right, so let me give you the details on that. This is a statement from the University of Florida. It is important to note that the university did not deny the First Amendment rights or academic freedom of professors Dan Smith, Michael McDonald, and Sharon Austin. Rather, the university denied requests of these full-time employees to undertake outside paid work that is adverse to the university's interests as a state of Florida institution. What?
So we didn't say they couldn't speak, except for the fact that we said they couldn't speak, and why couldn't they speak? Because it would affect the state of Florida adversely. Really, the information they would share all of a sudden would rip through Florida, causing truth damage like that. Oh my God, the truth is out there, contain it somehow. No. Get out of here, man. You're censoring them. It's plain as day. You can do all the Orwellian doublespeak you like, okay?
They're doing Ron DeSantis's bidding because they know that Ron DeSantis is the type of governor who will retaliate against people, schools, organizations that don't carry out exactly what he wants. I mean, he did it in regard to the mask mandates and the vaccine mandates. He said it. He's like, if there are school districts in the state of Florida that implement mask mandates, I will take their state funding away. That's the kind of guy he is. And the University of Florida decided that they were gonna cower to Ron DeSantis rather than stick up for their own professors. That's what's happening.
So University of Florida unfortunately just became a joke, and there's good people who went there. But if you're alumni, you should say to your own school, hey, I'm an American and I believe in freedom of speech, and you guys censoring your own professors is pathetic. And as an alumni, I'm disgraced by it. And I don't want to be associated with this, and I'll never donate to you again as long as you agree with authoritarian thugs who censor our own professors. And the excuse about, they're getting paid for it. Well, if you like their speech, you allow it. You only don't allow it if you don't like their speech. Meanwhile, at the same time, the right wing will turn around and go, they're making people do vaccines. That could take away their pay. So that's a form of government tyranny. And here they actually take away your pay just for speaking. And they're like, that's not government tyranny. No, you should only be allowed to say the things that the government wants you to say. That's freedom of speech? It's the right wing, it doesn't have to make sense. They're all giant hypocrites. They definitely believe in censorship. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.